Hey guys, and welcome back to another Halloween video. Today I have my first classic Lemax Spooky Town building review for the season, and it's a big one. The building I have today is a favorite among many Lemax Spooky Town collectors, and it's one of my favorites as well. This is Dr. Stretch and Pull's Torture Factory. So Dr. Stretch and Pull's Torture Factory came out in what most consider to be the most important year for Spooky Town, 2004. And it, along with another 2004 building that I will be talking about later this season, were kind of responsible for establishing Lemax as a powerhouse for Halloween villaging and transforming Spooky Town into what it is now. So getting on to the actual building here, this piece has all the hallmarks of an all-timer building. It has a super cool and wild theme, excellent lighting and animation, a cool soundtrack, and a great paint job that's chock full of detail. Now, something important to note about this piece, there exists two versions of it. The original 2004 version has an animated guillotine, and that's the one that I'm talking about in this video. Then in 2005 onward, up until it was retired, the guillotine was locked in place and it didn't work anymore. This was done because the guillotine mechanism is very delicate, and chances are if you run it a lot, it's not going to last before breaking. So just know if you have this building, but the guillotine doesn't work on it, it may not be because it's broken, it may be because you have a later version of it where, the guillotine is not a functional part of it. Now, to tell the difference between the two pieces is by looking at the gears. So you can see here on the left is the 2004 version, on the right is on the 2005 version. So you can see the 2004 ones are a little bigger, the 2005 ones are a little bit smaller, so that's how you can tell the difference. And to talk about the gears here, I guess to segue through the animation, the gears here, all of them are animated. There's a bunch of them that's all around the building, even on the sides of it, or a side of it, not on both sides. But you've also got the guillotine, as aforementioned. You can see here, it rises up, and then after a few seconds, it'll drop. I love the heads up sign and the bucket of heads that's underneath it. That's really cool. And at the front of the building, you have this iron gate here with the executioners that, with the guy on the torture rack that spins, and the gate will move up and down. And, yeah, really, really cool. I love the purple or blue light that's inside the building. It makes it look really cool, and that's another thing to mention. The lighting is awesome on this piece. I love the green lights in the skull, and how the sign, it kind of looks very, how there's like fiber optics in the sign, and it makes the sign light up. It's really, really cool, all the stuff they did with the lighting. Again, this was really kind of transforming Spooky Town into the modern era, if you will. So, some of the details here, there's the executioners, as I've mentioned. You have all these spikes that are on the building, whether it be on the side or on the top. You have the aforementioned guillotine with a bucket of heads and the heads up sign. You have these indoor scenes with the guy being stretched on a torture rack. Then you have another one with this dude who's in an Iron Maiden, or a coffin of nails. And of course, like I mentioned, you have the big sign with the skull with the vice on the head. It's super, super cool, all the details that are on this. So, of course, the theming of this, it's kind of like a, I guess, doctor's office / physical therapy place, a twisted physical therapy place. It's a very out there theme, and I could see how for some that can be an issue because it may be a little hard to theme, but I think this works great in a town, specifically like a more heavy metal style of town. There was a piece a couple years ago called Dr. Pins and Needles that I think works great with this. So it's not impossible to theme, even though the theme is a little more, I guess, bizarre than some of the other Spooky Town stuff or Halloween villaging stuff, but still, I really like the theming on it. I like how unique it is. Alright guys, so that was Dr. Stretch and Pull's Torture Factory. This is one of the all-timer Lemax Spooky Town pieces, and it's easy to see why. Like I mentioned, it kind of has all the hallmarks of a great Lemax Spooky Town piece. I love the lighting, I love the animation. It's even got a cool soundtrack that I'll play in a moment here. And yeah, it's just a really, really cool piece. I love it. Alright guys, so that was my first Lemax Spooky Town review, classic review of the season. To tease what I'm going to have next time, we're going to be going into the pumpkin patch and exploring a creepy barn. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited to be doing all these classic reviews. And here is Dr. Stretch and Pull's Torture Factory with the lights and the sound. Once again, thank you all so much for watching.